Hey guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, I'm Kelly, and today's video is a bit of a sad one because we are here to talk about discontinued makeup products. We are constantly hearing about new makeup releases and new makeup that's on the market, different innovative technology, skincare. Every time you turn around, it's new. But at the same time, there is also makeup that was maybe an old favorite or on the back burner or something we hadn't heard about in a while, and it's getting phased out. So I thought that I would share with you today some of the makeup products that have been discontinued that I wish would be brought back. They never should have been discontinued in the first place. They are amazing quality. Some of them I have gotten my hands on. Some of them were taken away before I could get my hands on them, and I want them to come back. So that's what we're here to talk about today. But even more exciting, or is that exciting? Talking about discontinued makeup products, but even more exciting is that today's video is a collaboration with my beautiful friend Vanessa from Nessa CX Beauty. We found each other back in the fall over on Instagram, and we have been following each other here in the YouTube space as well. Vanessa is also a makeup enthusiast. She is constantly putting out new content, trying out new makeup, talking about makeup releases if she wants to get them. We do that similar will I buy it style of video. But Vanessa also has a beautiful singing voice. The girl can sing, and sometimes she'll put up videos on Insta stories, and I just love to listen to her because she has the most beautiful voice. We have been talking about doing a collab since like December? January? And it would just be one of those things where we would be like, hey, we need to collab, hey, we need to collab, hey, we need to collab. And life just gets crazy. So here we are in April with our collaboration, and we are both going to be talking about makeup that we think needs to be brought back. So if you are not familiar with Vanessa, I will have her listed down below. Definitely go check her out while you're watching this video. If you're watching it when it just went live, I will be watching her video. So definitely go check her out after. And if you are coming from Vanessa's channel, hello, my name is Kelly. I am a teacher who loves all things makeup and beauty. I love makeup products. I love talking about makeup products. I love skincare. I love beauty. I love it all. So that is why we have K-Bella Beauty. It is just a place for me to talk and to talk about makeup. I do post videos 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Every now and then, if I get to pre-film and I have some videos stacked, I'll throw up an extra bonus video there. So definitely, if you like talking about makeup, hit that subscribe button. That way you don't have to remember my upload schedule. I'll just pop up in your feed and I'll be there with a new video. But why don't we go ahead and start talking about some discontinued makeup favorites. Okay, so there were two products right off the bat that came to mind when Vanessa brought up this topic of doing discontinued makeup products, and one of them is the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions eyeshadow palettes. When Huda first released those 9-pan Obsession palettes, she came out with the Smoky Obsessions. And I went back and forth on if I wanted it because it is a little bit of a more vampy eye look with the colors in there, and it is a little bit on the cooler side with that silver shade and the black. You have some cooler toned browns. But I never ended up purchasing it. It was always one that was on my wish list. It was in my loves list on Sephora, but I would always gloss over it. In all honesty, I would always gloss over the Huda Beauty brand. I just tried it for the first time a few months ago, and when I was ready to jump the gun and get this eyeshadow palette, it was discontinued. And I really want it. Like, I don't know why they discontinued it. You can still find her Smoky Obsessions on her website and on the Sephora website, but the Smoky Obsession has been taken off of her website. I think Samantha March filmed a video like this, and I think she mentioned this palette as well because she had this palette, and she mentioned that it was back up on the Huda Beauty website. Sorry, it's like tongue twister there, but she mentioned that it was back up on the Huda Beauty website. So I did go over there, but it was out of stock. So I don't know if they are bringing it back, but they need to because I want to pick it up. The next product that got away from me and I am very salty over this, is the Tom Ford lipstick in the shade Blush Nude. Now these Tom Ford lipsticks come with a hefty price tag of over $50. They used to be $50, I feel like they're like $52 or $55 now, but that's the reason why I never picked up Blush Nude. My best friend Smegs had Blush Nude and I had borrowed hers a few times, and I kept saying I wanted to get it, but because of the price tag, I never purchased it. It's just like a beautiful nude shade. So I took a break from YouTube, had my daughter, came back to YouTube, and I told myself, you know what? I birthed a whole baby. I deserve that Tom Ford Blush Nude lipstick. So I went to purchase it and I could not find it anywhere. Nowhere. And I didn't know what happened to it. So I reached out to my friend Monique Mo from Mo Makeup Mo Beauty. She put me in contact with someone who knew a little bit more about Tom Ford, a rep, and lo and behold, I found out that the shade Blush Nude was discontinued. So I will never have my hands on it now, and I am so sad about it. I really wish that they would bring that one back. The next product that I'm going to talk about is a product that I do have in my collection, and it's from Colourpop. Now we all know that Colourpop has a super fast turnaround, like they are putting new releases out multiple times a week sometimes, and just as fast as they put it out, they're taking it away. But I have noticed that sometimes their collections linger and they'll put them out a few times. Like I don't know their reasoning. Like I don't know why some products hang around for a while and others don't, but one that didn't hang around for a while was the Hocus Pocus collab. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was because it was a collab with Disney. Like, I don't know if Disney said, hey, you can put out so many of these and then you can't anymore. But the Colourpop Hocus Pocus collection was a huge mess on launch day. The products ended up being sold out like by the time they released. I remember I got on the website like 2 minutes early and was able to snag the eyeshadow palette, and then some of my friends who got on just like at the release time a couple minutes later, it was already sold out and they couldn't get their hands on it. I know there were a ton of people who wanted to get this because it's a Disney collection, because it was Hocus Pocus. It came out around Halloween time, and overall I do really like the palette. I think it's a nice one. I do enjoy the color story, but more than anything, I wish that they would bring it back for the people who wanted to get it and weren't able to get their hands on it. This was one of those releases where it was out for a short amount of time and then they took it away. So who knows, maybe next October they can do another like relaunch of the collab and release it again. I think that would be a good move on their part, and I think they would make a ton of money off of it. But the next product is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I actually have a couple products from them here, and it is a product that I didn't pick up, and I don't like wish that I had picked it up, but let me talk about what it is. It is the Amrezy highlighter. I didn't pick this highlighter up, but every single person that I have talked to who did pick it up loves it. They said it's a very unique shade. It's not like anything else that they have in their collection, and they really enjoy the formula. So for that reason, I wish the ABH would bring it back and make it permanent so that people could get their hands on it. Now, I am fully aware of the fact some of these products were not collabs. Like Huda, not a collab. Blush Nude, not a collab. Some of the products I'm going to talk about aren't collabs, but some of them are. And I do understand that with a collab, there usually has to be an end point, you know, where the collab is over and the product is gone. But this is one where, you know, Becca and Jaclyn Hill, they made Champagne Pop permanent. I just think that it would be great if the ABH Amrezy highlighter was permanent for people who really wanted to get their hands on it or who do love it and end up hitting pan and want to purchase another one. The next product that I want to talk about is also a collab, and it was a collab with Dose of Colors, Desi Perkins, and Katie from Luster Luxe. It is the Desi x Katie collab, but specifically the two liquid lipsticks that I have. I wish they were permanent. I have Hot Fire and I have a Mauve Story. A Mauve Story is, like it sounds, a mauve, a beautiful mauve shade. I find a Mauve Story to be similar. I guess I could swatch them. I don't really like swatching stuff, but I'll swatch it. There's a Mauve Story. Okay, so A Mauve Story is similar to the shade Truffle. So if you did miss out on this collab, you could go for Dose of Colors Truffle, and then the Hot Fire is not one that I got a ton of use out of because it is a hot fire shade, a hot fiery red. But there you have it there. They did have a lipstick. Now, I was not impressed with the lipstick. It's in the shade No Shade. I found it to be very drying and it pulled very peach on me. See, it's even, I can feel it when I'm swatching it. It pulled very peach. I wasn't a huge fan of the formula and it was very drying. So I don't necessarily think they need to bring this back. But I love the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick formula. I loved these two shades, but the thing is, they came out in like 2018. So these lipsticks have probably gone bad. I'm going to hold on to them because I love Desi and Katie and it's a collab, so I'm not going to get it again. But I wish that I could repurchase it because I used to wear A Mauve Story all the time and now I can't. The next palette that I'm going to talk about is also a collab. So again, I know that collabs have to have an end life, but it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills collab with Mario, Makeup by Mario, the Master Palette by Mario. This one released around the same time that the ABH Modern Renaissance palette released. I picked this up. It's not a palette that I use all the time, but I do like to pull it out on special occasions. I do have Pan in Fifth Avenue and Marina. I do have a dip in Isabel, but I just think this formula is amazing. The colors are amazing. The palette is beautiful. You can get some really nice smoky looks out of it. And I do know that there are people who have used up several shades or who don't want to use it because it was a collab and you can't get it anymore. Again, Mario has his own brand now, so I don't think that this will ever be brought back, and I understand that collabs have to end at some point, but this was a good one. I would like to see that again. The next several products that I'm going to talk about were not collabs, and I don't even know why they're discontinued. So first off is a blush by NARS in the shade Lovejoy. I heard Flower Bomb 31, I don't remember her name, I think it's Natalie. I used to follow her several years ago. I haven't kept up with her since, but Natalie, I think is her name, from Flower Bomb 31, raved about NARS Lovejoy. And this was back when a ton of people were talking about NARS blushes several years ago. And nobody really talked about Lovejoy, but she loved it. So Smags picked it up for me. You guys are always commenting about how Smags buys me makeup, but it's always as gifts. She doesn't like just buy it for me to give me makeup. She buys it for me for like my birthday or Christmas. But I think it was my birthday or Christmas when she picked up NARS Lovejoy for me. And it was a beautiful, like, cool toned mauve shade. I had it for several years. I loved it. I wore it all the time, but I ended up decluttering it because I got hard pan on the top. This was several years ago. So then when I came back to YouTube after having my daughter, I was like, hey, I want NARS Lovejoy back in my collection. Went to the Sephora website, found the NARS blushes. Lovejoy was gone. I couldn't purchase it. And I don't know why. There were other shades that were there. It's not like the NARS blushes are gone, just the shade Lovejoy. And I want it, and now I can't get it. So I would love for NARS to bring that blush back. Another product that just disappeared, like gone, and I have no clue why, are the Bite Beauty lipsticks. What happened to them? If you know, please tell me in the comments down below, because when I took my break from YouTube and came back, I was out of the loop on a lot of things. And I noticed recently that the lipsticks from Bite Beauty are no longer available. None of them. And I noticed it when I had to declutter one. It was like a limited edition when they did the zodiac signs. I had one, I don't even remember the name of it, but my niece kind of smushed it a little bit and I decluttered it out of my collection, and I was going to go back on their website and purchase their lipsticks because I've had Kava and Honeycomb, and I was going to get a few and they were just gone. completely. And those lipsticks were popular. So I don't know if they're like gonna reformulate them and bring them back. Like I said, they just disappeared and I don't know why. So if you know why, please tell me. Now, I do know that Makeup Geek got a whole revamping. I know that Marlena took some products off, did a whole like reformulation of her eyeshadow palettes, came back with square pans instead of circular pans, and I do know that she has bronzers, but do y'all remember when she had contour shades? She had several contour shades. I had the Warm Fair, the shade in Bad Habit, and I panned that bad boy. I was using it as a contour and I would bronze on top. I would put it right in like my cheekbones and I loved it. I thought it was the perfect shade for me. Like I said, I even panned it. It had major pan, but I had to throw it away after having it for about 4 or 5 years when I noticed that the texture was different and it was starting to get hard pan on top. So I knew I had to reluctantly throw it away. And I know that she has bronzers now, but she doesn't have any contour shades. And I just didn't have a contour shade like Bad Habit in my collection. And I wish that I could repurchase it, but it's gone. So that may be something in the future. Like I said, I know she's doing a whole rebranding. So that may be something in the future where she does come out with contours and I would be interested in picking them up. The last product that I want to share with you, it's a little different. Let me just go ahead and tell you what it is. So remember when Jaclyn Hill did the collab with Becca and they came out with the split pans? I got this split pan right here. It's the one with the Amaretto blush and the Prosecco Pop highlighter. I never could wear Prosecco Pop because it was just too deep on my skin tone. And they never sold the blushes separately. You could get the highlighters separately, but not the blushes. Again, I understand it's a collab, so that's why they discontinued the split pans, but I wish I could get the blush. Like, I wish that they would just take that blush, put it in its own little pan, and bring it back. Because I love it. This is very old. I probably shouldn't even be using it anymore, but I love the shade. It's just like a beautiful neutral shade, and I oftentimes forget about it because it is a split pan and I don't use Prosecco Pop, so it's like tucked away in my drawer and it doesn't get enough love. But I wish that when they had done the collab that they did the blushes separately, or, you know, I mean, this is even more sad because now we know Becca's going away completely and they're not coming back with any new products, which is even more sad. So I will keep this. I will never declutter it. It will stay in my collection, but I wish that back when they did the collab, that they had taken this blush out and put it in its own pan. But that's gonna do it for this video. Those are some of the discontinued makeup products that I wish would come back to the makeup market. I don't know, well, I know why some of them went away because they were collabs, but the ones that weren't collabs, I don't know why they've been discontinued, and it is very upsetting. But if you did find some joy out of talking about makeup we can no longer pick up, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I would like to thank my friend Vanessa for collaborating with me. You are wonderful. I love you so much. If you have not checked out Vanessa's channel, again, I'm gonna have her linked down below. Go check her out. Tell her I sent you. Tell her Kelly said hello. And if you came from Vanessa's channel, thank you for being here. I hope that you'll subscribe, be part of the K Bella fam. But that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.